In less than 8 minutes, let's make some classic French toast. And if you want to make this into a commercial business recipe, then you need to stick to the end of this video because I'll be sharing with you tips on how to make commercial classic French toast. So let's get started. Guys, welcome to my vlog channel. My name is Susan and this is the fun version of my recipe channel where I share all things DIY, family vlog, commercial business recipes on food, drinks, cakes, small chops and lots more. I also share how to earn money on the site every Friday. So today I'll be talking about how to make this French toast, classic French toast, in a way that you can also change it to a commercial recipe. So I'm going to start by breaking in some egg into a flat bowl, not too flat that is going to pour out its content, and also that it will be able to hold your bread once you duck your bread inside the bowl, so not so flat bowl. This recipe yields 10 classic French toast, 10 classic French toast, and I am making double of the recipe. Today's special virtual hug is for Miracle Ifeanyi, Oha Alima Ngozi, Abba Goodness, Abijoro Juliet, Ojima Vatu, and Igodalo Peace. Thank you guys so much for your support. Next, I went in to add a twist, which is condensed milk instead of a regular milk. Yes, this is a recipe you do not want to skip. Then I'm also going to add my cinnamon powder. Now if you're making this for a commercial purpose, you need to ask your clients if they are not allergic to cinnamon before you add cinnamon powder. Then I'm adding my sugar, and then I'll also be adding my salt, and I'll be mixing this up well together. I want to mix them up well together so that there are no unmixed eggs or unmixed custard. That's this mixture is a custard. They are not unmixed custard, so you want to mix them up well together. And you can do this with your spatula, but I prefer using a whisk. So make sure your hands are clean because the next thing we're going to be doing is working with our bread. Before that, I'm going to test to make sure that this custard is tasty. The salt there is to reduce or lessen the sweetness of the custard. So once you whisk this well, I'm using a fork. You can use a whisk, you can use your spatula to whisk, but make sure you whisk it in very well. So once you whisk it up well, you want to go in with your bread. Now you need to check the description box beneath this video. Guys, description box beneath this video for the written detailed recipe. So you need to get your bread. Now for the bread slices, I love using bread slicer a little bit thick. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the bread. You want to use bread slicer a little bit thick, but for this particular order I was doing, I wasn't having any thick slices. I just used the irregular bread slice. So you want to use bread slicer a little bit thick so that you don't get your custard spilling out of your French toast after you've toasted it. Also, you want to make sure that your bread is a little bit still, like a day old, before you proceed with this French toast recipe. Just buy your bread a day before you actually use it. This makes your bread soak in your custard. That is, this makes sure the custard well. And you want to make sure you're not using bread with too much pores, like too much holes in them. So once you've gotten your bread and you've mixed your custard together, the next thing you want to do is to set a pan on fire, a non-stick pan. Please note, a non-stick pan on fire. If I'm making this for like large order, about 50 pieces of classic French toast, I'll use a griddle, but you can also use a pan, a non-stick pan. You can also bake in your oven. You need to check the description box. I'll be leaving some detailed tips. So once you've added your pan on fire, you're going to add your oil, and you're going to also add your butter, softened unsalted butter. But if you're in Nigeria like myself and you don't have access to unsalted butter, you can also use margarine. Use good brands like Taruna and Valido if you're in Lagos, Nigeria. So you're going to add it into the pan. Make sure your pan is heated. Even if you're baking, you want to do it in the oven, make sure your oven is heated. So make sure your pan is heated. Add your oil, add your butter or margarine, and then smear it around using your spatula, of course. Then make sure you're doing this on medium heat. If you make it too high, you're going to get your French toast getting too brown and eventually getting burnt. You do not want that. So I'm going to Make sure I spin it around a little bit, allow it to heat up. And I'm going to get my bread, and I'm going to be dunking my bread inside my custard mixture. That is that egg and condensed milk, cinnamon mixture. I'll dunk my bread inside it, dunk it first, flip it to the other side and dunk it, and immediately I'll shake off the excess and place it in my pan. I'm not going to leave it a little bit. No, immediately you've dunked it, that is, you've dunked one side inside the custard, make sure it soaks in about not less than a minute. Then you flip to that other side, dunk it too, then you place it in your heated pan. Once you place it in your heated pan, please don't be tempted to move the pan around. Don't disturb the bread, just leave it there. You notice little bubbles at the sides of the bread. Once you discover that those bubbles have reduced significantly, remember you are doing this on a medium heat. Then you now flip the bread to the other side and allow this toast too. This just takes about 1 to 2 minutes. It's always lesser than that. And then once it has toasted like this, you also make sure that the bubbles is showing at the side of the bread. Make sure the bubbles are no longer reflecting before you pick your bread out of the pan. And guys, your classic French toast is ready. So now if you want to make this into a commercial recipe, if you double this recipe like I'm doing, you'll be able to make 20 classic French toast. Yes, 20 classic French toast. And you can also make them in your oven. Like I said, just make sure you preheat your oven first, then get your bread, place them in your custard mix, place it on your oven tray, and put them into your oven and bake. Then once you've baked, remove them out of your oven, flip it to the other side and heat it up again, and your classic French toast is ready. So I'm making this for 50 people, like I'm making 50 classic French toast. That is how I do it, instead of doing it in a pan like this. That's going to waste time. Also, you want to make sure you're using very good bread. Make sure you're using a very good brand of bread, and make sure that your bread is a little bit thicker in slice. It's not too thin like this. So you keep repeating that process, either if you're using a pan or you're using a griddle or you're baking the oven. Repeat the process until you've exhausted your bread slices. Don't leave the bread to soak too much in your custard mixture before you toast it. It's going to be quite bad. Then you can garnish with whatever garnishes of your choice, and your classic French toast is ready. Remember to ask your clients if they're allergic to things like cinnamon before you add cinnamon to your custard mixture. You can also go ahead to spice other things. You can use zest of citrus fruit, like orange zest, lemon zest. You can also use cardamom. You can use other spices, but it's better for you to keep it simple, guys, because a classic French toast is very simple to make. Another 8 minutes, less than 8 minutes, you're actually done with this. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you are new here, thank you so much for watching my video today, and please subscribe so that you encourage other people to watch my video, and YouTube will know that, yeah, this person is sharing something great. To my OGs, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for your comments, the likes and the shares. See you in a subsequent video. Bye for now.